I come before you this afternoon with a very heavy heart. America is grieving with an evil madman that took the innocent lives of school children this past Tuesday. Moments like this tear apart the very fabric of a community. As Texans and as Americans, we grieve and mourn with these families. The loss of their child is a tragedy that no parent should ever have to endure. As parents ourselves, Cecilia and I are heartbroken by such a senseless tragedy like this. We urge everyone here today, everyone across the country, to pray for those in Uvalde who are impacted by this atrocious act.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott there with his recorded message to the NRA, just a piece of it there, talking about how heartbroken they are and how they feel for the community, and they're looking to rebuild there, and thoughts or prayers are there with them. Now, because he really means it, he is proposing some kind of action, some changes here. Fascinating. Let's look at some of those ideas there. Abbott requested that both Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and the state's House Speaker Dade Phelan each convene a special legislative committee to address the shooting. He says this: as leaders, we must come together at this time to provide solutions to protect all Texans. Accordingly, I hereby request that each of you convene a special legislative committee. I look forward to working with you both on this important mission to make Texas safer, and I stand ready to provide any and all support. Sounds great. What are we talking about, Governor? Abbott said that the new committees should prepare recommendations on steps that could be taken to prevent mass shootings from happening at schools in the future in areas such as mental health, school safety, social media, police training, and firearm safety. Again, mental health, school safety, social media, police training, and firearm safety. That's gonna prevent these things from happening. At least that's what he wants them to discuss. The governor did not include gun control in those listed areas. That's not the surprising part. But because he didn't, maybe that's why he went on to say this about what he can do. Watch.
The Lord teaches us that every child is a precious gift, and evil stole those gifts from their parents on Tuesday. And also, remember this: there are thousands of laws on the books across the country that limit the owning or using of firearms. Laws that have not stopped madmen from carrying out evil acts on innocent people in peaceful communities. In Uvalde, the gunman committed a felony under Texas law before he even pulled the trigger. It's a felony to possess a firearm on school premises, but that did not stop him. And what he did on campus is capital murder. That's a crime that would have subjected him to the death penalty in Texas. Well, just as laws didn't stop the killer, we will not let his evil acts stop us from uniting the community that he tried to destroy.
Parting words for Governor Abbott there. There's nothing we could do. Laws don't work, so why should we even try? That's right after saying, hey, we should do something about it. We're gonna convene some committees and talk about what we cannot do. Which one is it? It's weird because when he was down in Uvalde talking to the families of the victims, seems like laws were something he could work with. Let's watch that.
Do we expect laws to come out of this devastating crime? The answer is absolutely yes. We need to have a discussion and pass laws to make sure that our schools are safer. And the people of Uvalde, but the people of Texas deserve that. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. The status quo is unacceptable. This crime is unacceptable. We're not going to be here and talking about it and do nothing about it. We will be looking for the best laws that we can get passed to make our communities and schools safer.
We will be looking for the best laws to get passed to make our community and our schools safer. The status quo and this crime are unacceptable. Words of the Texas governor. Again, at this exact same event, David, this is the last video, I promise, because I want to give you guys the full gamut of where he's gone through. First two to the NRA, that last one to victims, or at least at the press conference down in Uvalde. But he also wanted to point out there's only one thing that'll work, and apparently that's mental health. A very generic statement, but he still pivoted yet again. Watch this.
If everyone wants to seize upon a particular strategy and just assume, well, that's the golden strategy right there. Look at what happened in the Santa Fe shooting. A background check had no relevancy whatsoever because the killer took the gun from his parent. Look at what happened in the shooting in Sutherland Springs. There was a background check that was done. It was done in a flawed way that allowed the killer to get a gun. And so anyone who suggests, well, maybe we should focus on background checks as opposed to mental health, I suggest to you is mistaken. If there's anybody here who thinks we have perfect health care in this country, in this world, they're wrong. If there's anybody who thinks that we can't do more to address mental health care, they're wrong. They can. We can.
David, Governor Abbott there talked about how the background check system failed multiple times, so why have it? But then he said we should work on mental health, whatever part of mental health he's talking about. It's generic because he doesn't mean it. So if the background check systems are inefficient, wouldn't that require us to work on the background check systems to make them not inefficient? Maybe we can use something and produce something off of those just as a small part about this. But instead, when something doesn't work that they don't want to actually work with, they say, let's just scrap it. But when it comes to mental health, which is, again, a generic approach, we got to do something with that.
Well, if he wants to do something about mental health, then why on God's earth did he cut $200 million from the mental health budget in Texas? Some reporter needs to get in Abbott's face and say, look, why did you do that? Wasn't it a mistake? And oh, by the way, politicians want to seem like they're doing something. They form committees. They have blue ribbon commissions that come up with a report 6 months from now or a year from now. So in the meantime, they can say, we're taking action, we're studying the issue. This is not a time to study. This is a time to actually take action, restore that money for mental health, improve the background checks, and do something about these assault weapons. For every example of somebody who steals a gun or somebody who passes a background check, there are countless examples of people who would have been caught with a background check, who would have been caught if their mental health had been helped.
It's part that they never talk about. I wonder why that is. It's crazy that things that actually work to prevent these from happening, we don't talk about because they had been prevented. Crazy how that works.